So I've been meaning to make this video for a while now, the MCU tier list, because there's a lot of hot takes on the MCU going around, and I'm fairly sure my opinions are going to piss off quite a few people. But I wanted to do this anyway. It seems like they're including the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man films, as well as the Netflix TV series. So this seems to be the most comprehensive list. So I'm going to go through these, basically, and rank them based on how I feel. Bearing in mind, some of these I haven't watched for a couple of years now. So I'm going to be going off what could be a little bit inaccurate memories, but I'm going to do my best. I've got a haven't seen section here because there is a couple of these I haven't seen. So we'll get going then. So we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp. I feel like that's a high C. We're not starting off great. I feel like there was a lot of good ideas in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but they weren't really communicated as well as they could have been. So I'm going to put that high C. I feel like low B is more accurate, but I'll keep it in low C and then see how I feel as I go on. The original Ant-Man, I'm going to say that's high B. I feel like it worked a lot better than Ant-Man and the Wasp with the concepts that they had. But I've not really been that eager to go back to it. Age of Ultron, I'm going to put that in A, but it's like a low A. Because there was a lot of good ideas behind it. I feel like Ultron could have been a multi-film villain, but they kind of introduced him, had him get his ass kicked for most of the film. I did enjoy it for what it was, but I feel like it could have been more, if that makes sense. Avengers Infinity War, no question, S rank, easy S rank. It was the culmination of, you know, at that point, 10 years of film and storytelling, and it came together so well. And that surprising ending as well, where Thanos wins. Sorry, spoiler alert for a 5-year-old film. But, yeah, no, easy S tier. Captain Marvel. I know everybody would want me to put it here. At least a good few people will. I like it a lot more than it gets credit. But I feel like it deserves a lot more credit. I'm going to put it mid to high A tier. I think that the film itself was good. I think the writing was good. The story was really captivating. And it really acted as a good backdrop for why Nick Fury wanted to set up the Avengers Institute. So, yeah. Mid to high A tier for Captain Marvel. Captain America the Winter Soldier is either high A or low S. I'm going to put it S. It really is one of the best Marvel films that they've come out with. Easy. Very, very, very little in that film didn't work. Captain America the First Avenger was good. I'm going to put it above the first Ant-Man, but in B tier. It acted as a good sort of introduction for Captain America to introduce who he and Bucky are and his relationship with Peggy. But outside of that, yeah, it's fine. It's good. High B. Civil War, no question, A tier. I love ensemble films when it comes to the MCU, and you know, the whole, you know, neither Captain America or Iron Man technically being wrong or right in this. Battle of ideas, you know. I think it really worked. Definitely S tier. The first Doctor Strange. See, I want to put this either high B or low A. I think I'll put it high B. That feels about right. It's a really good film. B isn't bad, by the way. B is not bad. C isn't bad, really, unless you get towards the bottom of C. Because I don't think there really is a bad MCU film. Not really. So, yeah, B. I'd say that's about where the original Doctor Strange should go. High B, potentially low A, but I'm going to put it in high B. Endgame. The highest point of S tier. I love Endgame. It's such a good film. I'm going to put it in high A. High S tier. I don't see anything else beating Endgame and getting higher than that. The finale, the climax of the film was amazing. And everything that built up to it was amazing as well. and establishing the rules of time travel, which ultimately led to the multiverse. You know, it's the sort of cohesion we expect from the MCU. The first Guardians of the Galaxy, A tier, easy A tier. I'm probably going to put it... No, I'm going to put it high. I'm going to put it at the top of A. Guardians of the Galaxy is fantastic. When that film came out, I'd only seen a couple of films from the MCU, but Guardians of the Galaxy really appealed to me, and I really enjoyed it. So, high A. Guardians 2 is really good. Do I put that low A or high B? I'm going to put it low A, you know. I think Guardians 2 it was just the perfect sequel to Guardians 1. And you can see as the films progress as well, they start to get less with the comedy and more with the emotion. It's kind of like a scale thing. So the first film was very comedy driven. The second film was kind of a mix between the two, but still with a lot of focus on comedy. We'll get to 3 when we get to it. But it kind of feels like the scale sort of does this as you go through the films, and it's exactly the sort of thing you expect from these sorts of films. You know, they bring you in with the comedy, and then they start introducing the emotional elements to it. And Guardians 2 definitely had the emotional elements to it. I mean, rest in peace, Yondu. But Quill as well, finding out that his dad was responsible for his mum's death. Just amazing film. Spider-Man Far From Home. I want to put that in high B tier. Again, B isn't bad. Yeah, I'll put it in high B tier. Mysterio is an interesting villain. I feel like he was a bit wasted in that film. The idea of Stark Tech getting into the wrong person's hands makes sense. Although I feel like the film makes Spider-Man look like a right dumbass. But he's a child. He's a teenager. It makes sense that he would be a right dumbass. And he's not just a teenager. He's a teenager who lost his idol as well. And he's desperate to find a new one. So it kind of does make sense why he'd hand over the tech to Mysterio. But yeah. They kind of teased the multiverse with this film. And they didn't quite pull the trigger on it, which is fine. Yeah, high B tier. Like the way I'm seeing this, B tier is sort of good films, but they don't really stand out as much as A tier, and S tier is just the best of the best. So that's the way I'm seeing this. C tier is where you start getting to the films where I'm just like, wouldn't really watch that again. Speaking of not wanting to watch that again, my least favourite MCU film of all time, The Incredible Hulk. It's a fine origin film for the Hulk. That's about all the good I've got to say about it. Right, Iron Man 2. Mickey Rourke was good as Whiplash. Other than that, I don't really remember much about it. That's the problem. It's a film that doesn't really stand out. It doesn't really... There's nothing memorable about it. I think I'll put it... I know if I drop this in C, I'm going to piss off a lot of people. I'm putting it in C. I'm sorry. Iron Man 3 is more memorable than Iron Man 2. I'm going to put it low B. Yeah, low B for Iron Man 3. Iron Man, I know most people would put this in S tier. I can't bring myself to put this in S tier. It's a great way to kick off the MCU. But it didn't quite know what it wanted to be yet. For that reason, I'm going to put it in B tier. I feel like it suffers from the same problems as Captain America, the First Avenger, so I'm going to put it around there. It didn't quite have its identity yet. It didn't quite know what it wanted to be. But it served for a good jumping off point for both Tony Stark and the MCU. As War Machine as well, even though it's played by a different actor. Yeah, I'm going to put that sort of mid to high B. Black Panther, easy, S rank. Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. Fantastic. Black Panther was the perfect choice for the role. Killmonger is one of my favourite villains in the history of the MCU. Killmonger is one of those villains that everyone loves because he falls into that category of his motives being correct, but his methods being wrong. And the whole film being all about those ideals, tackling real world issues. Yeah, easy S tier. Spider-Man Homecoming was interesting to start off the Spider-Man franchise in the MCU with the Vulture. They always sort of went with Green Goblin. So the Vulture was an interesting choice to kick off Spider-Man's run in the MCU. It was a really good film, actually. I'm going to put that very high B. It's on the same level as Doctor Strange's first film. Yeah, no, I'm happy putting it there. Thor, the original Thor. I like this a lot more than people give it credit for. I'm going to put this in mid-B. It wasn't bad at all. It served as a good introduction for Thor, of Loki. His introduction into the Avengers. I can't really fault it that much. Right, so next we've got Thor the Dark World. C tier. I mean, I like it more than the Incredible Hulk and Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'd say it's about... It's not as good as Ant-Man, Iron Man 3. It's not as good as Iron Man 2. Let's just put it that way. I'd say mid-C. Thor Ragnarok. This is where I'm going to start getting controversial with my picks. I'm putting this in A tier. I know everyone hates the fact that Thor Ragnarok really took a step into comedy. The comedy works so well. It doesn't detract from the stakes of the film. And is the perfect sort of... The ending of it is the perfect setup for Avengers Infinity War. It introduced so many amazing characters and concepts that would become running themes in the MCU. So, just saying. Low A tier. I'm happy putting out there. The original Avengers, A tier, easy. Easy. Yeah, I'd say definitely above Age of Ultron. Probably above Captain Marvel as well. Now I'm going to put that above Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, I'm thinking about it. I might put it in S. I think I'm going to put it in S. The original Avengers was such a great film. The original Avengers film needed to hit every mark to really create the MCU into a really sort of serious franchise, and I feel like the original Avengers did that. WandaVision I liked a lot more when it was airing live than watching it back. I think a year ago I would have put it in, or 2 years ago I guess, I would have put it in S tier. I think it's dropped down to A tier, but that's still pretty good. I'm going to put it around here. No, I'm going to put it between Captain Marvel and Age of Ultron. WandaVision is fantastic. It's amazing. The way it tackles the concept of loss and the reasoning for Vision coming back is good. It sets up the Marvel's film as Monica Rambeau is taken at the end of the series. Agatha Harkness was brilliant. So, yeah. Easy. High to mid A tier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is one of those films that had a lot more idea than it did substance. It was a bit of a disappointment. The Flag Smashers were an organisation that I could really identify with, as well as this sort of internal war between Bucky having to accept Sam as the new Captain America. Obviously for very different reasons than the rest of America having to accept Sam as the Captain America. Dealt with race issues really, really well. Yeah, I'm going to put that mid-B. I'm going to put it between Thor and Spider-Man Homecoming. No, Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that placement. Loki! High A. Very high A. In fact, the highest of A. Really hope Season 2 of Loki lives up to the potential that Season 1 set up for it. I was captivated every single week. I love the redemption story of Loki himself. Owen Wilson's character, Morbius, is amazing. I can't remember the name of the actress who plays Sylvie, but she did a great job in that role as well. And the introduction of He Who Remains, the introduction of Kang, was just completely perfect. So Loki is very high A tier. Shang-Chi was good, but the last 15 minutes let it down badly. For that reason, underneath Captain America, over Ant-Man. Shang-Chi, if it weren't for the last 15 minutes, would have been higher than it was. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Shang-Chi in the MCU. Black Widow was fine. but felt a bit pointless. If it come out before they killed off the Black Widow character, rather than it being a flashback film, I may have enjoyed it a lot more, but because of the fact they introduced it when they did, C tier. What If, I feel like had a lot more potential than it ended up having, by the end of it. I want to put this high B. I feel like that's a good placement for it. I'm hoping Season 2 does a lot more with the concepts. But yeah, it kind of felt like there were 2 to 3 important episodes in the entire series, and everything else was just sort of there. Hawkeye was good, but not as good as I was expecting it. Well, to be fair, it's better than I expected it to be. I want to put it behind What If, but in front of Spider-Man Far From Home. The Eternals, I am not going to put it in C tier. I liked it a lot more than people give it credit for. I'm going to put it high B. I feel like putting it around here is about right. The Eternals, I feel like, gets a lot less credit than it deserves. I feel like it's a lot better than people give it credit for. So I'm going to put that in high B. Spider-Man No Way Home, easy S tier. I'm sorry, I know people are going to say I'm only putting it there because of nostalgia reasons, because of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and all of the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield enemies. But here's my response to that. I didn't even see the Andrew Garfield films, and I only saw the first Tobey Maguire film before this film even came out. I've since gone back and watched those. So it's not a nostalgia thing. The film was brilliant, and I'm going to put it in S tier. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2. I'm going to put that in B. This is the second Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film. It is good. I'm going to put it in B, though. Spider-Man 3. Everyone hates this film, and you know what? I can see why. Venom was so badly used in this film. Everything other than Venom works in this film. Venom taking over Spider-Man's body works, but when Eddie Brock gets hold of Venom and we see Venom's face, and it's talking in Eddie Brock's voice, and the bad CGI when they kill Venom at the end of the film, ruined it. Ruined it. I'm putting Spider-Man 3 in B. Everything else in the film really worked. They just dropped the ball with Venom too much. Sandman was good. His motivations were brilliant. Bully Maguire, as he's been dubbed since this film came out, was brilliant. And Kirsten Dunst was fantastic. So, they kind of wasted Gwen Stacy in this film, though, I will say. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield's second Spider-Man film. I'm putting that in low A. It's really... I love the dynamic between Spider-Man and Electro. And I also like the fact that they sort of picked Electro, which is a lesser used Spider-Man film villain, it seems, in the films. Yeah, Max was a very, very sympathetic villain. And I love Amazing Spider-Man 2. I will stand Amazing Spider-Man 2 every day. Tobey Maguire's, Andrew Garfield's even first Spider-Man outing, The Amazing Spider-Man, was good. The Lizard is an interesting choice for the first villain for your Spider-Man franchise. Oh yeah, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 did kind of shoehorn in Green Goblin as well, which felt like it came and went way too fast. But that's why it's low A. The Amazing Spider-Man had some good concepts, but the Lizard I don't feel like is an interesting enough villain to carry the film. I'm going to put it middle of the road for A. I'm going to put it above Spider-Man 3 though. Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man film. Does it have to be? Does it have to be explained? S tier. Tobey Maguire is fantastic in it. Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin is amazing. Yeah, no, S tier. Easy S tier. Venom. I haven't seen Venom in a long time. I remember I didn't hate it as much as the internet seemed to. It's definitely a better depiction of Venom than Spider-Man 3. I'm going to put it middle of the road for B tier. It's definitely better than its sequel. We'll get to that when we get to it. Oh, speaking of, Venom Let There Be Carnage. Each individual part of this film, I think, worked if they gave it enough time. This film kind of felt like they were going from beat to 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 beat, and it kind of felt really rushed. It felt like it was all over the place. I actually timed the fight scene at the end, and within a 2-minute period, Venom shows up to fight Carnage, decides he doesn't want to fight Carnage, and retreats back into Eddie. Then Eddie brings him back out to fight Carnage. Then the fight stops, because Carnage has turned on the Screamer. Or Scream, can't remember her name. If this film was given room to breathe, an extra half an hour could have done it. This film felt very rushed. And based on that, I kind of feel bad putting it in B tier. I feel like it should be high C. I feel bad putting this over Iron Man 2, because it shouldn't be over Iron Man 2. That's the thing, though. That's what I'm struggling with when it comes to Venom 2. Every individual concept in this film could have worked if it was given extra time. It's the best characterization of Eddie Brock and Venom we've seen on screen. I love the characterization of Eddie Brock and Venom. The way Tom Hardy plays both those characters off each other is amazing. I loved Woody Harrelson as Carnage. There's just so much to love about this film. It is such a good characterization of Venom. But the rushed nature of the film really does lay it down. And I can't justify putting it higher than this based on that, despite the fact that I love every other aspect about this film. It's literally just the fact that it felt so rushed, despite having so many good ideas, that lets it down for me. Alright. The Netflix series I haven't seen. So Daredevil is going to go here. I know I probably should watch them. I probably will get round to them. But I haven't seen it, so I can't accurately judge it. So I'm going to put Daredevil there. Moon Knight I liked a lot more than I do now. I think if I was ranking this a year ago, I'd have put it around here. But I'm going to put it here. Moon Knight was good. But there's no real stakes for the rest of the MCU, at least not that we've seen so far. And I've not felt compelled to go back and watch it. I did really enjoy it when it first aired. But I'm going to say low B. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness I did really like, but it was a bit of a letdown for the potential it could have had. And I feel like putting it above the Eternals but below Spider-Man 2 is the fairest way of doing this. Yeah. It had some good concepts that it just didn't capitalise on enough. So, yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. No. No, I'm going to put it here. I feel like high B is more fair, because the concepts were good. And we'll see how well of a redemption arc they give Wanda after the film. Yeah, no, to be fair, thinking about it, it was the perfect, it was a good way of capping off from WandaVision, so yeah, I'm going to put that there. Miss Marvel was good, but I kind of consider it around the same place as Hawkeye. It was good, it was fine, wasn't that memorable. We'll see what happens with the Marvels to see if I change my mind on that. But no, I did enjoy Miss Marvel, so I'm going to put that sort of mid to high B. Thor: Love and Thunder. Internet, please get ready to hate me. I don't care. I'm putting that at the bottom of A. It's amazing. I'm sorry, it's amazing. I love Love and Thunder. I'm a little bit concerned about the number of people who said that this film was non-stop joke, when half the film is Thor crying over Jane dying of cancer. But, other than that, Thor: Love and Thunder, low A. Defenders I haven't seen. Iron Fist I haven't seen. Punisher I haven't seen. Luke Cage I haven't seen. Jessica Jones I haven't seen. This basically just reads as my Netflix must watch list. But I didn't want to put this video off enough to watch all of these series on Netflix. So it's just not fair for me to rank these. So I've got to put these in not seen. She-Hulk. Oh, I know the internet wants me to put it here, but I'm not going to. I enjoyed the ending for this a lot more when it first aired than I do now. It worked as a shock ending, a funny ending that kind of ruins a lot of the MCU if you think about it. I did enjoy it week to week, but I'm going to put it low B. I'd enjoyed it a little more than Moon Knight. I think I'll put it just around here. I'm sorry, I know the internet probably wants me to shit all over that TV series. I'm going to put it there. I Am Groot, there wasn't really much about it. It was a bunch of shorts. It's fine. Marvel Legends I haven't seen. Morbius, another film I liked a lot more than the internet seemed to. Matt Smith, easily the best part of this film. Worked as a psychotic foil for Jared Leto's Morbius. But even still, I'm going to put it here. Again, B tier isn't bad. It's just sort of like, these films exist. No, they're films I enjoy. These are good films and TV programs. They're just not good enough to go into A or S tier. It's C where I'm just sort of like, eh. But, no, yeah. B tier I think is fine. Morbius was better than people gave it credit for. But a lot of that is to do with Matt Smith. Wakanda Forever. I liked a lot, actually. Namor is one of the more interesting MCU villains we've had. I like the way they dealt with T'Challa's death, and yeah, I'm going to put that here. I really like Wakanda Forever, and I'm really interested to see what they do with Namor in the future. Yeah, no, I'm happy putting that in A tier. Werewolf by Night was such a different series compared to what we're used to from the MCU. It was all in black and white. It was shot like it was from the 1950s. I really liked Werewolf by Night. A lot. I'm going to put it high B tier. I think it was fantastic. See what I mean about B tier not being bad? I think Werewolf by Night was fantastic, but I'm putting it high B. No, I thought it was brilliant. I want to see more shows like that. And I want to see some sort of sequel to this. As of right now, it has no impact on the rest of the MCU, but that's absolutely fine. But, yeah, I'm happy with it going there. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was good. I enjoyed it. But it just was what it was. I'm going to put it here. Just for the fact that, as much as I did enjoy it, and as good as it was on its own in a vacuum, it was just sort of a fun thing for Christmas, and I'm going to put it there. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I didn't actually see until it hit Disney+. I never saw it in the cinema. I really enjoyed this film, up until the point that Kang got defeated by a bunch of ants. How are you going to build your next Thanos-level threat and have him get beaten by a bunch of ants? Also, how are we supposed to believe that Kang defeated and killed Thor, the Hulk, Iron Man, and all the Avengers from all these different universes, but can get his ass kicked by Ant-Man and the Wasp? Like, I get that it's their film, but how are you gonna... There's so many other ways they could have done this. Kang could have kicked Ant-Man's ass to the point that he almost died, and then Hope could have come in and stunned Kang long enough for Ant-Man to escape, or something else. I feel like there's so many other things they could have done. The ending really let this film down, but the rest of the film was so good that I'm going to put it here. I think it's around here. I'm in two minds about moving these up to A. I feel like I should. I feel like these are all good enough to move up to A. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better. These are all A-worthy, in my opinion. And the most recent entry, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, is my... I'm going to say this now. It is my favourite Guardians of the Galaxy film they've ever made. It was a perfect culmination for everything they've been building up. James Gunn is such a good filmmaker. I'm putting it in S tier. I'm really putting this film in S tier. I'm sorry. No, I'm not even sorry. It's an amazing film. Every single part of that film worked. I was emotional. I was laughing. And all the way through, the story was just on point. The writing was just brilliant. The performances, the soundtrack, everything. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If it weren't for the Winter Soldier, would be the best non-Avengers project the MCU has ever made. So, that's my tier list. I'm going to drop a link to this tier list in the description below, so you can do one yourself. Let me know how your opinions differ from mine. And if your opinions do differ from mine, don't forget to cry about it and comment in the comment section about how I don't deserve to have an opinion, or that I should jump off a bridge or something like that. Stuff like that definitely makes me look bad. But no, don't be like that. If you do disagree with anything I've put on this list, drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know. Let's have a discussion. But I'm really happy with this list and where I've put everything. I did have to move these 4 up into A tier because I didn't like putting them in B. But yeah, I'm happy with the tier list looking like this. I think that this is pretty much how it should be. That's definitely representative of how I feel. But don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section below. Tell me where you disagree with me. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. The MCU is still going strong in my opinion. As you can see, a lot of the newer films are up here. The post-Endgame stuff. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We've got Wakanda Forever. We've got Spider-Man No Way Home. Quantumania. Loki. I feel like the MCU is kind of still building itself up into its next tier. Into its next phase, which I think is fine. But no, this is definitely representative of how I feel about the different projects they've made. Don't forget to subscribe to me here on this channel as well to be notified whenever I upload a video. I try and upload multiple times a week, so if you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. Also, head on over to twitch.tv/James the Thunder and go and follow me on there. All of my streams get permanently archived here on YouTube. I know if you follow me on Twitch, you'll be notified whenever I go live in the future. I've been James the Thunder, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.